I found a diamond in the rough and I think they would make a really good salesperson and I want to hire them and coach them. What do I need to know? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about sales sabotage. Like, gather around. If I had a campfire going and some s'mores to make, this conversation, if you're a business owner or a manager, is one you really need to pay attention to. So I've been fortunate to work with tons of salespeople. Good, bad, horrible, and should never be in sales. Like, there's like 4 categories, okay? And so here's what happens is there's plenty of places that will say, we're going to hire for personality, and then what we're going to do is we're going to train. Now, I want you to think about something. People who are people pleasers are people pleasers. An important concept for you to understand. And so if you have somebody who's always a people person and they don't really have an edge to them and they're scared of rejection, what kind of salesperson do you think they're going to be? That's right, they're not going to be a salesperson. They're not. And so I see so many times where companies fall for the diamond in a rough situation. The person that they're finding really is a diamond in the rough, and there's like maybe a 10 or a 5% chance that that person is going to work out. Or it's a 90% chance that that owner or manager is going to have huge heartache of trying to get this person to be somebody that they don't really want to be. Now, my dad, when he was alive, he loved to build people up, and he put people in positions and roles they should have never been in, right? My dad had a huge heart. My dad loved people, good trait to have, but in ways it held him back because he wasn't putting the right person in the right position. He had more faith in the person than the person had in themselves. This is a huge, huge lesson for you to learn. I'm not saying have a black heart. I'm not saying to be mean. I'm not saying to find people to work for your company, but you got to find the right person. You got to find the right person for the right job. And sometimes that person, because they're people pleasers, they're going to go along with it and say, hey, yeah, that's something that I want to do. I want to be in sales, but real deal in the back of their mind, they're like, I don't want to do this. I'm scared out of my mind. I can't do this. I'm not going to do it. And so a sales manager or a business owner spends time, energy, and effort with somebody who never should have gotten in the business. This is a real deal conversation, right? Might be controversial, might hurt some feelings, but you know what? If you're a salesperson, you've met this salesperson before, especially if you're a closer. You probably get, and if that person's taking your leads where leads are divvied out, oh my goodness, there's nothing worse than at the end of the month saying, I had 40 ups, 30 leads, however you count them, and that person who's not a salesperson took 20 and couldn't close any of them, and I would have closed at least half. I would have increased my income, right? So if you're a manager or business owner, you got to know that your salespeople are looking around going, why are you hiring these people? If you're a sales manager or business owner and you're banging your head against the wall and you're like, why is it that I find these diamond in the rough and they never work out? It's because that person is a people pleaser, and a people pleaser is not going to tell you no, and they're not going to take rejection well, and they're not going to ask for the sale. Tough conversation to have, but real deal, people pleasers or people pleasers, and it can create some problems, especially if you're in sales, and especially if you're scared to take rejection or objections. There you go. Excuse me. So you got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out a video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Aloha.